magic in the air. Wands roll around us, cast away our care. Friends in the hallways, adventures we find. Spells and enchantments, trouble on our mind. That's so wizards, oh, 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 oh. Life is a spell we know. We're casting joy and glow, oh, oh. That's a wizard show.
All right, guys. I know it's Friday. I know the holidays are coming up, but we got to think of another idea to sell D&D, especially for the holidays. So we got the number one selling game for kids, the number one role-playing game in the world. We're Dungeons and Dragons. What do we need to sell the holidays to our audience who are primarily kids? Mackenzie? Beer! Well, that's a brilliant idea, Mackenzie. D&D beer round 2. You're a genius. Hello, my friends, and welcome back. It wouldn't be a week without Wizards of the Coast tossing out another round of dumb. So let's take a break from being nice, put on my evil villain arc persona, and try and say nice things about Wizards. Because once again, Wizards of the Coast continues to do exactly what it said it was going to do. Though this one is hard to wrap my head around because they're doing D&D themed beer again. Because nothing says a kid's game like beer. Nothing says a social group getting together and then going home in their cars like alcohol. So this is Dragon Milk. We've seen Dragon Milk once before. They make themed alcoholic beverages, specifically Dungeons and Dragons themed alcohol beverages and Dungeons and Dragons alcohol beverages themed merch, like the $110 Dungeons and Dragons dice tower, which is themed behind the alcohol. And they also have the Dungeons and Dragons Dragon's Milk Origin Mead cask set for $165, the Dungeon Milks and Dungeons and Dragons Coconut Barrel Rum Reserve 4-pack for $20. $110 for a dice tower. $110 for a piece of plastic, a plastic tube that ends in a cup. Hey, Technoblade, I drank as a kid and I'm just fine. No, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. No, all right, have your D&D beer and your D&D stout and your D&D whiskey, then drive home. You 9-year-olds, you. D&D beer themed beer, and they call themselves Dragon Milk, which is just sort of creepy because dragons are reptiles. They don't have milk. They hatch from eggs, but okay. I put it to the alcoholic drinking percentage of my audience because I'm assuming some of you drink. Has anybody tried this brand? Can anybody say whether this is actually a decent brand of alcoholic beverages, or is it up there with like Steel Reserve and Night Train? I don't know. Everything about it is just cringy. I get it. You want to merchandise, and I get it. You want to be associated with adult things, but even when trying to defend Wizards of the Coast choices, this one is like, yeah, what? No, Mackenzie. No, stop it. No. Okay, moving on. But that's not all that happened this weekend from Wizards of the Coast. Wizards of the Coast apparently lost a video game company. I guess they put it down and left the room and forgot about it because a video game that was in the plan from Starbreeze has been canceled. This was the co-op D&D game called Project Baxter. I don't know what this picture of the Temple of Lathander has to do with Project Baxter, other than maybe Project Baxter has something to do with Lathander. I don't know. Hail the Morning Lord, O Paylord, God of Stuff. This is one of the many games as service that we were working on to put underneath the umbrella of the D&D franchise. Again, games as service just sounds cringy. It's very hard to defend this choice, Wizards of the Coast. We know you want to make the Wizards of the Coast brand primarily video game associated. Oh, I would love send me some shine. I hear that shine from Tennessee is pretty decent, and they have also different weird flavors and stuff. So yeah, yeah, games as service is just, we know what you're trying to do. You've told us what you're trying to do, but that's just a very cringy way of doing it. It's just everything about that sentence just is like, ooh, game service, like it just, it feels like dirty. You make it sound dirty, which I guess, you know, when we think about it, it is dirty. You're paying for a video game, and then you're paying for things inside the video game, and you're continuously paying for video games. It's depending upon that gotcha mentality where you have to, you know, open up the booster packs and hope that you get the character that you want. All you have to do is watch any video game or VTuber playing any of the gotcha games. You can just see them fork out money after money to open these digital video booster packs in the hopes that they get the skin or the hat or the character that they want. It's gambling, guys. But yeah, it's not like this is a surprise. So how did we lose Starbreeze? I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says they decided to part ways. I guess Starbreeze saw the writing wall and went, nope. And somehow losing this game also cost them 44 employees. 44 people lost their job because of this. And they're writing off the $27.2 million development costs. You're writing it off. So you're not going to have D&D pay you for the work you did. You're just like, oh, well, I guess this project didn't work, so we're just going to write off $28 million. Must be nice to be in a financial position that you can just write off $28 million of D&D money. And then we'll wonder why the Q3 numbers are low again when they come out pretty soon. Just write off $23 million. And 44 people lost their jobs because reasons. Let's not redirect that money to a different project. Let's not redirect those 44 people to a different product. But no, let's just kick them to the curb in the holidays in this economy because we decided not to make a video game. But don't worry, Aaron the Relentless. Don't worry, Death Angel. Don't worry, Technoblade. Technobabble. They've got plenty of more video games in the works, including the entirely brand new studio they're making in Montreal, because nothing says putting all of Dungeons and Dragons under one umbrella like splitting up the company and sending a brand new group of people to Montreal. And finally, for people who were secretly hoping that they were gonna redo Darksun, they redid the psionics again. This will be the second or third time they've redone the psionics. They reshaped it by players' feedback. It's ready for another playtest. So taking it more and more away from its origins in Darksun and making it more just yet another class. So what is the future home for all these classes that they're making for new D&D 2027? Are we going to see sort of an unearthed arcana kind of thing where they would just release all the new classes in a collection? Is this going to be associated with a brand new source book? One of the digital ones, like the new Magic the Gathering one? Don't know. Anyways, they've updated it for anybody who's curious. It's got the Metamorph build, the Psychokinetic build, that's the one who throws knives, and the Telepath build. And if I remember correctly, most people played the Metamorph because they found ways to break it and turn into like weird body horror beasts things. Anyways, it's free on D&D Beyond if you want to check it out. You're curious to see how they turn magic into a science. I mean, psionics into another magic school. Just make it a sorcerer blood, you know. That would make the most sense. It doesn't need to be its separate class. It could just be a bloodline for the sorcerer class, right? Since the whole thing about sorcerer class is you're tapping into your bloodline. It's somewhere along the way, some mutant gene got into your bloodline. So now you can tap into these powers that normal people can't without having to deal with the whole rigmarole of like learning spells or praying to your god, right? the sorcerer is the X-Men. It's the mutants of D&D. It's like, we just have this weird, wacky powers. We just reach into our bag of tricks and toss out shit, and stuff happens. So, yeah, just make the Scion class a sorcerer build. It doesn't need to be its own class. It certainly doesn't need to be rewritten. We know you're teasing us with darksun, but we also know that you're not going to do darksun, or if you do darksun, it'll be the Mackenzie Diom's extremely homogenized, not in any way, shape, or form resembling darksun other than the name. It's not going to be the post-apocalyptic wasteland with slavery and cannibalistic halflings and weird bug people and half-naked dark priests practicing blood magic. Technobabble says the beer is 20% ABV, which makes it no longer a beer and becomes a liqueur. Not being a beer guy, I don't know what that means, but I assume for my people out there who do understand drinking, yeah, you know, I'll have one beer a year. Maybe. I had a glass of wine for Yom Kippur with my parents the other night. That was about it for me. Just doesn't go well with all the alcohol, with all the meds I have to take for my brain and stuff. So yeah, just not a beer guy. Never was a beer guy. I liked Mai Tais. Mai Tais are always my drink of choice. Just fun and flavorful and just, yeah. So anyways, yeah, there we go. That's the Wizards of the Coast starting the week off right with just being wizards. And, you know, the whole point of this villain arc is, oh no, Wizards of the Coast continues to do exactly what they said they were going to do. And oh no, the old school is upset that Wizards of the Coast continues to do exactly what they said they're going to do. But don't worry about it, because the old school doesn't actually play 5e. They just like complaining about what Wizards of the Coast is going to do. Oh no, the Wizards of the Coast is making yet again another branding transition. That shouldn't surprise anyone, because it's said that they're going to do. But beer? But then let's not forget that last year they brought us Dungeons and Dragons beard oil. Beard oil. Because nothing says game for kids and young adults like beard oil, or in 2026, nothing says game for kids and young adults like beer. Come on over to my house, Billy. We're going to drink some beer and play 2025-2026 Dungeons and Dragons and watch Critical Role be really, really cringy. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Till then, what do you expect? That's so Wizards. Oh, no.
Mischief in the classroom, potions gone astray. Flying through the quad, now brighter every day. Laugh till we cry hard, sneaking out at night. Cloaks in the moonlight, everything feels right.